What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Flow and Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Time for me to share my screen and lock in some profits. I'm up over $668 on the day. Just took a position. Gonna be closing this one right now, 100%. Let's see where we're at. Limit order. We're in between 57. Oh my God. No, it didn't fill. There we go. $811. Woo. Okay, that was pretty exciting. Definitely a lot more exciting than our normal live streams start out, right? So that one was kind of straight to the point. I was up about $300 during pre-market hours. This thing is still showing signs of an uptrend. It got rejected last time. Look at this resistance right around that $158 price point. Looking at natural gas, we're seeing a lot of consolidation. So look at this. It peaked out to about 4.574. Again, I don't care about exact price points. That's irrelevant to me. All I like to focus on are general areas. And around 1.56 to around right now, it's building a support right around like the 1.50. That's really where it's starting to consolidate. Again, it was showing signs of an uptrend pattern. It doesn't mean that it's going to continue to uptrend. Is it still? Look at the first pattern that we saw about that it was showing, right? It was killing it, right? Non-stop bouncing off the EMA line. And then what happened? It fell below, and now it's consolidating. So that's definitely something that we want to take into consideration before taking our next position. Now we're seeing some consolidation. Now we're seeing a potential sell-off. So now it makes sense on possibly why DGAS might be a good, again, it's a descending pattern, so you probably don't want to take a position on it, but it probably offers a decent margin of profit where it's going to push up and then you could scalp it. Again, if you're someone that's under the PDT rule, you don't have over $25,000 in your account, this is a type of trade where you might need to cut losses quick, or where you it just might not work according to plan. Again, it's a descending pattern, so there's a higher form of risk involved. So if you're not comfortable with it, then guess what? You simply don't do it. So I can't see your guys's. Oh, I had to block these people. I'm so sorry. I have to block them from the TechBud Solutions chat because, or TechBud Solutions group, because they're promoting the Robinhood link. They're oh wow, natural gas just had a nice little push up. Let's check this out. Here we go. Here we go. This is how we do it. It's 3 minutes into the market open, and I've already exceeded my goal. And again, I'll show you all my orders. I did not hold anything overnight, nothing whatsoever. I took a relatively decent sized position. So I'm going to take a position on DGAS. And again, I know that there's a form of risk by investing in something like this. 100 shares, so I'm going to do a 200 share position just to get some skin in the game. I'll do it there. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to get filled, but let's see. All right, so I'm filled at 5339. We'll set a limit order. I'm sorry, not a limit order, an alert. If we get the break above the EMA line, and I can add more to my position there. So we'll add a remaining 200 shares. We'll see if it breaks above it. It 100% can pull back, break below it, and I'm going to end up having to cut losses on it. Here we go. So right around 60 is where I plan to add more to my position. Here we go. Holy buckets. Get filled. Come on. All right, 5669. There we go. We might get a pullback. Again, it's still a descending pattern, so it doesn't 100% have to fulfill. Let me show you and explain to you again exactly why it is. It's been consolidating, just like natural gas is consolidating. This thing has been consolidating as well, building this little horizontal pattern. And there it goes, selling off. There it goes, selling off. So I should be down a little bit on this position. Yeah, so I'm down about $80 on the position. There we go, picking up. I'm going to have my sell order ready. 100%. Again, this is a risky trade because I'm trading something that's a descending pattern. I can't stress that enough. See. Why can't I? Sweet. Now I can see you guys. There we go. So natural gas, let me show you this. Natural gas is back at that resistance. It can 100% continue to uptrend, but do you see, based off previous patterns, that it got rejected right around this general area, sells off, then pushes up, and then, you know, right now it's still staying above this overall EMA line. So maybe something that I could have done a little bit better is for that second entry when I added the remaining 200 shares. Again, that's still not me fully invested. That's still about $20,000, which is about 2/3 of what my normal position is. Regardless, I still added to my position when I thought something. Again, what it would have looked like is when this thing sold off below the EMA line, but it wasn't making lower lows. And, you know, something that I could have taken into consideration, been a little bit more selective with that. Especially as I'm investing in something that's a descending pattern. So again, I'm just trying to share not just only like what I've been doing good, but also what I could improve on. So I'm going to set my alert. There it goes. It's starting to show signs of an uptrend. It can continue to rally. Natural gas has been extremely bullish this morning, and that's why I think I've been able to do so well with you guys. I mean, right now it's at 157, 157, 158 almost. I was able to make the $811 profit altogether on just this specific position with 2 trades. So I bought and sold and then bought and sold. I added to my position, right, as it confirmed the uptrend. But I only took 1 position during pre-market hours. The rest was all oh no, I'm sorry. Both positions were during pre-market. I sold as the market opened. So let's see where we're at. Ricky, are you in UGAS? I'm in DGAS right now. So I'm going to add DGAS here to the list. So let's see how much I'm down. $225. It's actually a lot more than I expected. I didn't think my position size was that big. So I'm just going to have my order ready to sell just in case there's a pretty aggressive sell-off. I want to make sure that I can cut losses quick. Again, we're right around this general support. There's no break of pattern here. My biggest mistake is my entry, right? So altogether on the day, I'm up $569.04. Here we go. So I'm keeping a close eye. Natural gas is still pushing up, holding above that EMA line. We can see that right now we're still getting rejected. There we go. Natural gas still pushing. Let's give it a second. Hey Ricky, I can't find the ticker /NG. I don't know what to tell you. I know that not every brokerage. I think like Robinhood doesn't offer it. So then that's where you have to go like on TradeView or something like that. That's a free platform to be able to like look at /NG. There we go. So natural gas is pushing up. Let's check this out. Let's see. Oh, trading view. Okay. Shows you how much I use that, right? All right. Since Wednesday markets are closed, one of the crude oil reports. That's definitely something to, I don't think it was prepared that in advance. Oh, there we go. Nice little push. Natural gas should be selling off just a little bit. But yeah, I'll look into that a little bit more to see if I could figure out an answer for you. Oh my goodness, I like that. Thank you, DGAS. Let's see. I'm still down 200. What the heck? Okay. What's my average purchase price? 50.50. Okay. There we go. Natural gas is selling off. Nice little push up, starting this recovery. Here we go. Where are we at? All right, going from red to green. Right now we have a pretty decent amount of sellers at that 50 50 price point. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to break it. Wow. Here we go. The volatility is again pretty aggressive. The MACD's in our favor, the RSI not so much. Let's check this out. Natural gas is trying to recover. Let's see if we could see a little bit more of a sell-off. Let's see. So this is what I'm going to move this up just a little bit. And look at natural gas. Natural gas, as it pushed up, right? Sold off. Now this is what we want to see. We want to see lower lows. As of right now, not necessarily getting it. So let's see if we can break this low. Come on. Come on. Boom. Let's see. There we go. Nice little push. Here we go. I'm just not going to be greedy again. This is a descending pattern, so that's just a really sad dollar amount though. There we go. All right, so I'm going to look at the ask and the bid. Right now we have the ask at 55, the bid at 67. Let's see where we're at. All right, looking at natural gas to see if it's going to begin to push up. Yeah, I should probably just get rid of it. Let me edit this again. So I'm going to do it right around just so I can get out. There we go. All right, there it goes. Sweet. Again, that was my fault. So I got out in the green as of right now. That was a really bad trade. I'm right under $850 profit. One thing that I did very poorly on that one was, what would you guys say? So before I explain myself, I feel like I identified a decent pattern, right? What could I have done better? Yeah, so again, like, what could I have done better? Oh, wow, that's a really nice push up. And again, it doesn't matter. Like this, like DGAS can push up all the way. There it goes. To $52, right? So just push it up to $51. It could 100% push up to 52, just like it did during pre-market hours. But what could I have done better? Why was I so like uncertain about the pattern? What was the risk involved? What do you guys think? Okay, so TradingView is delayed about 10 minutes. All right, that's good to know. You didn't get in at the best entry. Yeah, entry point. Wait for the full confirmation. Be more patient. Bounce off the EMA line. Of course it did when you sold, right? Yeah, there's no surprise there. Made $26. Oh, nice. Locked it in. Yep, opportunity cost. New to the group, I felt like that there was some excited emotions involved, kind of rushed it. Yep, I 100% agree. There's definitely like, I got super pumped about how quick I made the $811 profit on UGAS, and that it just like, surprised me and got me really pumped. I saw a pattern, I took advantage of it, and I think all of you guys are correct. Margin of profit, I think the margin of profit / risk, I think that it was worth it. And again, I know it's riskier because it's a descending pattern and I don't want to write it down, right? But I like we all could see this pattern, right? During pre-market hours and how it began to consolidate between like $50 to about like that 51.50, right? I mean, that makes sense. The low points, the high points, the low points, the high points, the low points, and why it can get close to that. But also, it's been getting rejected by this middle VWAP the entire time. And I saw that it was getting really close and that was going to stump the idea of it even hitting 51.50 because of that, right? So what I wanted to do was, again, my entry point could have been so much better. My initial entry point wasn't bad. It was right around 50, right? Like that wasn't bad. But then it started to show signs of an uptrend. And I bought in right away. And then guess what? Or I think it was around this area. I bought in originally here. It pushed up. I bought in right around 50-50. And then guess what? It got rejected. I was quick to add more to my position. One of the, I think, a very common mistake that I think a lot of traders make, especially if you're trying to do this average up approach, when you don't give it time for it to fully like reverse and actually begin to make higher highs. When you just go like, okay, green candle, perfect, buy. But then boom, pulls right back. How many of you guys have ever done that? I did that today. And guess what? I could have bought in at a much better price point and felt so much more reassured. And I probably would have not been as rushed. Maybe I could have sold at $51, right? I would have made an extra 40 cents per share. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? 40 cents per share, 400 shares. That's a lot of money. It's $80. Well, I would, regardless, besides the point, right? As of right now, I wanted to focus on quality trades. And one thing that I noticed is I looked at like my little like track record and stuff like that, and I tend to do much better trading UGAS rather than DGAS. I think that's very important to, like, you guys can check this out yourself as well. You guys can, and you guys can also call your brokerage and ask them like, which ones have I made, whatever stocks you trade the most, they can tell you like which ones you've made the most money on and stuff like that. We've tried to emphasize it so much the past 2 months, how important it is to like stay so micro focused on whatever's doing well for you, right? And I think that's why it's so important to like identify and to understand like, yeah, you can't, I could take advantage of DGAS right now. I could 100% because it can continue to uptrend. But then the risk is like just that descending pattern, So it's definitely pushing up right now. There's no question about it. Its direction can change. We could see a break above the middle VWAP, and then we'll have to give it time for it to change its overall direction. But 100%. But I have to do like a self-examination and say like, like I really need to like slow down. I like that DGAS is doing well, and that's great, but my track record for trading DGAS is not as good as UGAS. And why is that? Well, DGAS tends to, decay or downtrend a lot more actively. So I don't do that well with downtrend patterns. It's just the way that I'm wired. Some of you guys might be doing way better with DGAS and not as well with UGAS. It's just how we are. But again, all I'm looking at are kind of like the stats of like how good I'm doing, what I do good at, and what I could be doing better, right? And then again, it's all a consistent game, a consistent like just factor that we do with ourselves. So DGAS is performing the way that we expected it to, right? There's no question about that, and really happy to see that it played out the way that we expected it to. But who knew? This thing could have 100% gone rejected and sold down to $49, and I would have been down 3%. That would have been, a very upsetting type of loss when I identified a reason why not to still be invested in it. So just my 2 cents there. Now that this thing is pushing up, we want to ask the question, is it going to get rejected, right? Or is it going to continue to uptrend and start to make higher highs? So is you guys a good buy now? Again, we need to give it time, right? I mean, it's approaching this general resistance for DGAS. And then for UGAS, it's approaching this general support. But what's happening? That's why would I not be so quick? So I like the pattern, right? I like the horizontal pattern that it's offering here. But what just happened that didn't happen at all during pre-market hours? Can any of you guys explain like why I might be a little hesitant to jump right back in on UGAS? What just happened? What break-if pattern just happened that didn't happen before? Broke below the middle VWAP. Right there. Kirk, you got it. Just these little observations, these little indications of like, hey, there might be a change of direction. We might start seeing lower lows and this thing sell off to the SMA line. Remember we talked about the slingshot effect? The more patient that you become. Have you guys ever thought about this? Like, you guys are so quick to take a position. Have you ever tested? We made a video a while back, and I was like, right before you're about to take a position, if you've been struggling to always take a position too early, wait 5 to 10 minutes. If you're someone that takes a position way too early, too often, why does that hurt? Just wait 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and see where it points. So I would have taken up a position right now. Where would I have been? Right? Is it going to be down here? Is it going to be up here? Even if it fulfills the margin, you called out something that was successful. But then if it sells off down here, then guess what? You saved yourself a red trade. Both are better than feeling uncomfortable when you're in a position, especially if you have a track record for getting in too early. There we go. And just 2 minutes later, we're back at overall the support. ENPH. Let's check this out. Wowzers. Okay, so ENPH showing signs of an uptrend pattern based off previous patterns. It's pretty overbought. It's above $6 and super overextended with the MACD and the RSI. But it looks like it's doing really good today. So I would wait for a pullback, and if it continues to stay true, like it pushed up, pulled back, if it stays true to the EMA line, then great. We might have something to watch later for the day. But congrats to all those that already invested in this. Here we go. So we're right back at that support. Right? I'm going to remove this one. So the MACD is trying to reverse. The RSI is trying to point back up. Now, I'm going to take a smaller position as it breaks above this. So instead of taking the 100 share position size, because I'm so uncertain, what am I going to do? Scale in, average up, go in with a very small entry point, right? I understand that the risk is a little bit greater right now, so I normally go in when I just want to get some skin in the game, but I see a very consistent pattern. I go in with about 100 shares of you guys. That's $15,000. That's not, as of right now on the price point that it's at, that's not cheap. That's about 50% of my position. So I'll go in with half of that, right? So about 7,500, and now I feel much more comfortable. And there it goes. It's selling off, right? So now I'm down. But again, this dollar value that I'm down, $26, I'm not going to be like, oh no, like what's going on, Like I'm at ease. I'm at ease because the dollar value that I'm up or down, the whole point of me buying is just to get some skin in the game. It's not making me uncomfortable because the monetary aspect is usually what drives my emotions. Probably for a lot of you as well. But again, just smaller positions, just get some skin in the game. And if I get the confirmation, then guess what? I'm going to add some more shares to this sucker. That's Chipotle right there, sir, $26. I mean, I get it. It's still like a lot of money in the sense of that, but like not that much, It's like 5 guac days. My goodness. TQQQ selling off. So SQs is the one that's showing signs of an uptrend today. Nice little alert for those that follow a lot of those NASDAQ ETFs. You guys have been killing it with those, first of all. They've been doing just as well, if not better, than us. If you've been struggling with like UGAs and DGAs and can't find that pattern, check out SQs and TQs and stuff like that. That might be something that you might want to take into consideration. So once we get the confirmation, I'll add the 150 shares. This is above the EMA line, so it's going to be right around 155. Let's check it. Never down when you own an asset. That is correct. When you scale in, does it count as a second day trade towards the PDT rule? No, if you buy and then buy in again, it's a buy and sell. So as long as you buy buy, and then you sell in one position, that's one day trade. Or yeah, the same. Or let's say you already own the share and you bought it yesterday and you sell. That's all one day. I mean, not a day trade because you didn't buy it that day, but yeah. Yeah, you guys are still consolidating right now. We're still below the EMA line, right? We still need that confirmation. And sing. Bye-bye. You guys cracked me up. All right, look at natural gas. Where's it at? /NG. Here we go. Do you guys see the support? Again, we talked about it. Around this general area. We'll set an alert here. It doesn't have to break above it. Just because it's a previous pattern doesn't mean that it has to fulfill it, right? Patterns are there for us to observe. They're not there. They're not like facts, right? They're not something that have to destined. Sometimes people say we have a lot of new traders that message me like, Ricky, I did my technical analysis. I made sure that it was showing signs of an uptrend. I got in, but it broke its pattern and then now I'm down. What am I doing wrong? Nothing. You're not doing anything wrong. The only thing that you're doing wrong is not managing your risk. There's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's, we have this identify the pattern. Make sure that the opportunity cost is worth it. Make sure that you understand its direction. Certain factors so you feel comfortable with the investment that you're about to make. And then on top of that, you should always manage your risk. Every single position, if you're someone that experienced exponential loss, every single position should have a max dollar loss. If you don't, then guess what? It's going to be very difficult for you to cut losses or to walk away from a position. And as long as you focus on managing your risk, keeping your losses small, and doing that on a consistent factor and focus on trading quality trades, the numbers should be in your favor. Yes, you might experience one or two trades that don't go according to your plan, but as long as one does, because the opportunity cost is worth it, it will outweigh those losses. And that's the whole point of the risk management aspect of it. They don't need to go according to your plan. It's great when they do. And that's why you can do the average up approach. So you manage your risk accordingly. So you focus on giving so little, and then you just cut losses quick, or not cut losses quick, because again, that's not a good habit to have either. If there's no break-up pattern, you still cut losses. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? There's a break-up pattern. You no longer feel comfortable with that position. So you cut losses, you walk away. And if it returned and you see another pattern that you see value in, same thing. Average up approach. Get in, get some skin in the game. Make sure that you're doing everything in your power to manage your risk and to make sure that it's a quality investment, that you don't go into aggressively and that you feel comfortable the entire time, right? When something is actively trending up, when something is pushing up and you add more to your position, you're comfortable. Why? Because it's in your favor. It's going according to plan. But right now, that natural gas is selling off. Is it going to be a smart thing for me to add more to my position as it's selling off? Am I going to feel as comfortable as I would have if it's showing signs of an uptrend? No, because it's not going according to my plan. So why would I add more emotions, right? More money to something that's not making me feel comfortable? BILI. Oh, there we go. Natural gas just broke below. Here we go. So I'm down $84, $93. Here we go. So we might be heading to this overall SMA line. Let's check this out. Oh no. Natural gas has this middle VWAP. Here we go. No, but it's also so close to that SMA line that it might as well just hit. Yep, natural gas pushing down. At what point do you sell and cut your losses? That's something that you have to identify. So again, if you're trading based off of a pattern, so again, if I'm trading based off of this pattern, right? This pattern that is making higher highs, it's staying true to this EMA line. We talked about it in the course, especially for swing trades. So, giving the understanding that this is showing signs of an uptrend. What's an uptrend? It's making higher highs. What's a downtrend? When it makes lower lows. Continuous lower lows and continuous higher highs. Continuous higher highs are uptrends. Continuous lower lows are a downtrend. Simple, right? So when there's a break-of pattern, it means that it's going to make continuous lower lows, right? Now it's showing signs of an uptrend. Pullbacks are inevitable, and that's something that you have to learn how to identify. It pushes up, pulls back. Yes, you might be down on your position. That's your fault because of your entry point. That has nothing to do with the pattern, right? And I'm trading based off of the pattern. So it sells off, it breaks below the EMA line, and at this point, you might be at like a critical point where you're like, okay, is it time to cut losses? Is it making lower lows? You see it consolidate, and then you're like, it picked right back up, and then it pushes right back up again. Okay, false alarm. Pushes up, pushes up, pushes up, pushes up, hits a resistance, sells off, sells off. Is this making lower lows? Pulls back up and recovers. Boom, 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 pushes up, pushes up, pushes up, consolidates, and then guess what happens? Sells off, sells off, sells off, and then makes lower lows. Sell. So your entry and your exit. And again, you should always have an exit kind of like price point in mind when entering a position. So I don't know why some people do wait to try to see how high they could ride it. I feel like that's a little bit more based off of hope and kind of not knowing where you're getting out. So I like to focus at a resistance. I identify it, I ride it, make sure that the pattern is still relevant. And if it is, great. And if it's not, then guess what? Then I can cut losses. But that's on the break of pattern format. Another thing that you can take into consideration is, a max percentage loss. So if you don't want to lose more than like a certain dollar amount, right? If your goal on a weekly basis is to make $1,000 and you want to manage your overall, risk for the week, and you can take 3 trades, right? And your loss should be at like 200, max loss 200. Then you should probably be at like, what is that? Like $600 or $66.66 for your max dollar loss per day for 3 trades. Because then that would get you to that $200 mark. There we go. Diaz or you guys with a nice little push up. But yeah, and again, this is just one push up. So what was the mistake that I did last time? What was the mistake that I did last time? Do you guys remember? I got in right away, right? And it's bound to pull back. What do we want to see? Higher highs. Ishmael, do you mind if you get me a water? Here we go. Pushes up, pulls back. Same thing with natural gas. You see this? Pushes up, pulls back. We don't know if it's going to continue to uptrend. So why do I want to add? Its downtrend pattern might still be relevant. Why would I want to add more to my position as it's downtrending? It's not making higher highs yet, right? It's a red candle right now. We have people in the live chat saying if you can get them a water bottle too. Thank you. I appreciate it. Higher highs.
I'll take a black coffee.
Where?
I'll take a black coffee.
So we just need to give it, there we go. Oh, I just set my alert for no reason. Ishmael is the man. I feel like we're talking a lot about confirmation today. I like it. That's a very common question that we get. So I really hope that in today's video, we usually talk about like lock-in and profits or no, I feel like we talk about confirmation, but I feel like we went much more in depth today. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Did any of you guys like learn something new or feel a little bit more reassured? Or with the mistake that I made of like when there's a downtrend pattern and it pushes up and then I got in and it pulls right back down. How many of you guys have ever done that? Like, does that that mistake of getting in right away, being so quick to jump the gun, I feel like a lot of people can fall into that category. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a bad habit. You just have to fix it. How do you fix a habit? You just don't do it again. Simple, right? I definitely feel more patient now. I like that. I have, and it hurts. Trust me. Yeah, it definitely does hurt. I like that. Well, Brian, welcome to the team. I like that, Weston. Weston Martin. That's a solid freaking name. I like that. Okay, Gregory. Nice, nice. Yeah, solid discussion. More of it. I like it. Okay, so as of right now, again, still trying to be a little patient. I'm going to feel much more comfortable adding to my position as this thing begins to push up. If it does push up. We don't know if it is. It could be, what's it called? Bearish for the rest of the day. There it goes. Selling off. I was at the break even right there. Boom. And just to put it into perspective, so I'm in at around 154.59, pretty much 154.60, right? So like, where's that at? Right here, around here. And it sells off just like that. That's about 1%. If I would have been, again, I lost like $70 there, or I was down $70. If I was in with, what would that have been? Not twice. It would have been like 4 times that loss. So 4 to 5 times that loss. It would have been like over $300 loss right away, or down $300. That would make me feel much more uncomfortable. And again, I mean, I could completely remove this to remove the like that like negative like experience. But do you guys get what I'm saying about like, that's why it's so important to like, yeah, if you want to get some skin in the game, all power to you. I mean, again, you don't want to just throw money in anything just to get some skin in the game. You want to make sure that there's still like at least some form of consolidation or indication of a reversal, that it's at a general support where it's bounced at before. Again, indication, like a reason for your initial like entry. But then to really understand that the only reason that you're doing that is probably just to watch it a little bit closer, to have some skin in the game, to feel like, hey, I'm in this, I'm watching this, right? I'm ready for what's going to happen. And to understand that it doesn't have to go according to your plan. That before you go in with your entry, that you're aware that, hey, this thing might not go according to plan, but I'm prepared for it because I only went in with 1/5 or 1/6 of my normal position. And I'm okay with losing 1 or 2% of that. And I accept that before going in. So you plan your success and your failure. So you're aware. So when you see that negative number, it doesn't devastate you. And again, for me to buy 50 shares, again, that's still $7,500. That's still a lot of money. I need you guys to know that. So just to put it into perspective, if my normal position is about, $30,000, right? That's about 1/4 of what my normal position is. So that's just as an example. You guys don't even have to do the 1/4 entry. You can do 1/10. You don't even have to enter. You can go in more aggressive. However, whatever it is that you feel more comfortable doing. Every time I get into the stock, I get the longest consolidation ever. The gods of stock markets are testing my will. Trust me, I feel like that too. I've felt like that multiple times. And look, how many of you guys have ever experienced this? And I think I'm someone that can like really speak by experience from this, or from experience from this. That the example of consolidation, of like every time that I get into a stock, I feel like that stock consolidates forever, right? And then I'm already in, or let's say like I'm fully invested already and it's not making me any money, or it's barely making me anything. And then as soon as it pops up and it shows signs of a uptrend, I lock in profits because I'm just like, freaking crud, like I don't want to like go back in the red. It really dragged me along for so long that I'm just like, I feel uncomfortable and I'm so anxious at that point that I'm just like too emotional. I'm just like, I don't even want to do this anymore. I'm out. And then it ends up fully fulfilling that pattern that I saw. I could have made, 3-4%. And then guess what? It's because of that drag of emotions of me getting in too early that put me to that, put me through that like roller coaster. I'm going to be less motivated to do it. So then guess what? If you're experiencing that, what's something that we can do? What's a habit that you can implement that can assist you in not being dragged along and feeling so uneasy that as soon as there's any signs of an uptrend or a break-even point or managing your cutting losses, that you leave? Ja Altena saying, stop describing me. Dude, no, the funny thing is, everyone's right now saying this is me, this is me, this is me. It's everybody. Like, I need you guys to know, even now, that I do this every single day. I've done this for years. Even now, I'm still in positions where I feel like that. And it's nothing like, there we go. Stop loss and walk away. Wait for the confirmation and don't chase. I like all of these. Let's see. Wait for a longer. Yeah, how about this? So instead of waiting as it sells off, consolidates, and you know, there's 3 stages of a reversal, just as there's 3 stages of a peak formation. The rejection, consolidation, and then what? Confirmation. So what can we do if we don't like being dragged along? Except that we're not going to get in for the best price point, but that we're going to get in when the action is happening. How do you guys feel about that? That you're extremely, extremely selective with giving it time to actually consolidate. Where when it's actively trending up, that you're like, oh shoot, like it might be almost a little bit too late. And again, you don't want to get in too late. But when it's already uptrending and fully confirmed an uptrend, that you're like, okay, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm gonna ride the roller coaster as it's pushing up. Not as it's going through all its dang like loopy loops and stuff like that, right? Same thing with this. What's a habit that you can implement to avoid that drag effect or that drag feeling? Because trust me, it's a roller coaster of emotions where you're just like, oh my, I don't even feel comfortable with this position anymore. Kind of like I did today with DGAS. You saw how I was selling off and I was like, oh crap, I got in a little bit. I'm sorry if that was a bad word. But yeah, kind of like I did with DGAS, where it showed signs of an uptrend. Even for the slightest uptrend, I was just like, I just want to get out. Boom, got out. And then guess what? It fulfilled its pattern. What if I would have just gotten in at not a better price? I mean, not at the lowest price point, but got in when it was showing actual signs of higher highs. Simple, right? Here we go. Let's see. Are we going to see? Oh, wow. I did not even see this. Do you guys see what I'm seeing? Do any of you guys see what I see right now? What indicator am I looking at that's kind of sketching me out? MACD. Look at the MACD. So the MACD is already showing signs of a potential peak formation, of a potential reversal. And then looking at this, I'm just like, really? It's already going to reverse? Look at this. It's been making lower highs. You see that? See where we're at. Here we go. Wow. Yeah, there it goes. Natural gas is showing the same pattern. Look at this. Look at the MACD. Yikes. All right. And look, there goes DGAS. Son of a gun. Yep, there it goes. check this out. Oh, I should buy a mouse pad. I'm sorry. I didn't think that you guys could hear that. Get some WD-40 for that door.
Oh, dang, damn.
Yeah, they could hear everything. See my heartbeat or something? What's going on, Haley? VNet. All right, sounds good. Let me go ahead and I'll pop that one out real quick. Let's see. Okay, very low volume on VNet. It's trading between the middle and bottom VWAP, so it's showing signs of a sell-off. Okay, I could see the low points and the high points based off previous patterns. The volatility is so crazy. Okay, so it's a pretty consistent pattern in that idea. I mean, it's still kind of consolidating, so I would give it a little bit more time for it to identify like which direction it's really going to be going. Again, we talked about it. You don't want to be dragged along the rejection consolidation phase. Let's set a series of alerts and let's really wait for higher highs to form. The sad thing about this, I don't want to call it the sad thing, but this thing usually just pops up right away randomly. So that's a little bit riskier, right? Just because it's a little bit more volatile. But as long as you take the dollar value that you have invested into consideration, then that's what's like important. So let's see. Come on, 158. Yeah, that'd be a beautiful thing if it could hit highs of 150. I mean, it can. It's just, yeah, I mean, natural gas is trying, like, it's still staying true to the EMA line, right? And natural gas is as well. But, yeah, like, it's just consolidating again a little bit too much. It might be the dollar value that I have invested. That's, no, it's not even the, because I'm kind of at that break-even point right now. But yeah, it's kind of just consolidating a little bit too much. It's easier to see on natural gas, at least on this screen because it's so wide. But look at this. Oh, there we go. So it's just consolidating here. It's really not making higher highs. So it's really struggling to break above. For you guys, it's, here we go. Wow. Let's see. Natural gas is still pushing up. Wow. I should have had my limit orders set ahead of time. There we go. Come on, dingle butt. There, it should get filled. What the heck? Oh my goodness. And boom, hits 150, what was that? 156. There it goes. Showing signs of an uptrend, filled. $943 here. Total on the day, $981. Not bad. Again, a lot of consolidation below 160. If we get a break above 160, maybe I could take a smaller position and ride that. But I'll probably do 150 shares just to not be so, again, but I'm getting in when it's showing signs of an uptrend if we see higher highs form. Other than that, probably not. Now it's going to shoot up. I like that. Now, what is that? Josh, 187, my biggest day yet. I love that. 187. I don't know how long have you been trading for, but it took me forever to be able to hit that that goal of even $100. So let's just make sure that we keep it consistent, that you understand the growth that you're experiencing. That's what's really important. So 10% account growth for the week. Holy moly. That is freaking huge. Here we go. No, I didn't. Let me check that out. I wouldn't really. If Simon, if you want to point it out and send it to me or something like that through a picture, I don't necessarily see it. But feel free to, if you see it and it's a reason that you didn't take a position, then all power to you. But yeah, no, I don't necessarily see that descending triangle. So. Holy moly. Last out 80% just on you guys and D-Gas. That is so freaking crazy. Jonathan Bowles, killing the game. Super happy to have you part of the team. And again, it might be for some people, it might not be for others, but I find it to be super simple, just to be super micro focused on what's doing well. And for me, it's been you guys and D-Gas. But people have been saying that, like, they've just been following through. They don't even like watch my video. They just hear me on the background as they're trading other ETFs, as they've been trading other tech companies every day. And they trade the same thing every day. I just think like the creature habit or just focusing on what's making you money is what's important. Again, forget about what everyone else is saying. I think, and this is the funny part. When I had like one or two people try to make fun of me for trading like you guys and D-Gas, like, oh, all you know how to trade is you guys and D-Gas. And you're just like, yes, I'm so sorry that I'm so consistent with 2 series of ETFs, and that's what I make all my money on. It doesn't matter. Like if I sell Toyota Priuses, and that's where I make $100,000, a year on, and I sell Toyota Priuses, it doesn't matter. Like if you sell Ferraris and you make, $100,000, it's the same thing. Yeah, you might be like viewed as someone, okay, you sell Ferraris, great. You sell 2 a year, I sell, 20. If I enjoy it and it makes sense to me and it works for me, then guess what? You better believe that I'm going to sell Priuses all day long, right? Yeah, okay. I guess a Prius is a bad example in comparison to a Ferrari, but you guys get what I mean. It's you do what works for you. Like if you go to the gym, right, and something works really well for you, you're just going to continue to do it. If you like eating something and it's like me, I eat Chipotle, I eat Cane's, I eat Panda Express, Cafe Rio, and I rotate those every single week. And yeah, it might be boring, but it gets the job done. It makes me happy, and no complaints here. So, am I going to try to be super cool and super trading all these different stocks and losing money when I can just trade what I trade and I can stay consistently profitable? I feel like I've been doing pretty well. Reiki, do you need a personal trainer? Do I not look at my neck? Do I not look? Yeah, no. I don't really treat the gym too seriously. I'm in Nick Palladino's he helps me out with certain tips and stuff like that online, just like online coaching. He's also one of my friends, so he helps me out with that. And I have these the guys that obviously I live with that are much more fit than I am. So yeah, I think I'm fine, but. You're basically wide neck. I saw the picture of that dude with the really wide neck. That's funny.
Robinhood posted the photo you asked him to in the LPP main chat.
What?
You asked someone to post a screenshot, remember? They posted it in the LPP main chat.
Screenshot. Oh, Simon. Yeah. Okay.
Bonehead, because YouTube.
Wait, was he really Bonehead?
Yes, he's Bonehead. He was the guy who was Bonehead. Yeah, that's
Oh
him.
my goodness. No, I had no idea that was him. I know him from Instagram. Okay, I do see it in that perspective. Yeah, I think that's also showing a very similar pattern to like, so this is the pattern that he's showing me. Well, we talked about this yesterday that it's showing a lot of consolidation, but I really wouldn't call it like a descending triangle. But the same thing is happening with like JDST. So JDST, I'm not sure if it's in on the 180-day chart is where I saw it, but it's showing kind of like the similar pattern there as it's making like lower lows and lower highs with its overall support. So yeah. I just didn't, I see it as like a descending, because it's not necessarily making like, it's not hitting the same support every single time. So I kind of just saw it consolidating until you're going to decide which side to really go towards. But yeah, great observation, Simon. I like it. Alrighty, team. Okay, so I've been scalping you guys, buying at pretty much 155, selling at 1. Okay, of course. But $300. Yeah, all power to you. If it kind of just consolidates, like during market close or right before the market closed yesterday, I saw UGAS and DGAS. All they were doing was just consolidating for like an hour. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. So is the market closed tomorrow? Yeah, the market is closed tomorrow. So it's an observance to George Bush, right? Senior, like the dad. Yeah. He passed away, so I think they're doing it in an observance of him and stuff like that. So a day off, maybe some time just to like practice or just enjoy it with like, whatever it is that you enjoy to do. But yeah, it's that time already. We've been live for about 57 minutes. Isn't that crazy? That's an hour. You have 24 of these within the day, and you guys just spent one of those with me. That's pretty beast. So yeah, I really do appreciate your guys' time. I also wanted to let you guys know, for those that like have any suggestions. So we started this blog, right? And we already have a couple different things, but like it's the 5th link in the description. It's market FAQs. And our goal is like if you come up with like any question or anything like that you would like for us to that you would like us to answer. The really cool thing about this is that we have a guy that we're partnered up with, and we had a bunch of people ask questions about Webull. We had a bunch of people ask questions about Robinhood basics, extended hours, and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different blog posts that we already have set up. It's all free, available for all of you guys, right? And the really cool thing about this is the people that are part of Learn Time Profit, we want to make it specifically like first for you, right? And then also for TechBud Solutions. So if you have any questions or any suggestions of what you would like to see, then what should we do? Let's do like a type of a way that you message me via Discord. So make sure like blog suggestion, make sure that that's the first thing, and then just like what would you like to see, and keeping it that simple, and we could elaborate. And yeah, all you have to do is you click on whichever one you want to read more about, and that's really just it. So the Webull one, there's going to be a new one that's going to be added today as well. But yeah, feel free to check it out if you guys haven't done so already. And again, that's that 5th link in the description if I'm not mistaken. So, all right, team. So I want to thank you guys again for your time. Hope you guys have an absolute amazing rest of your Tuesday. Have fun. Keep it consistent. Let's lock in those profits. And I just truly hope that you guys have an amazing day. So thank you guys again for your time. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.